What are you seeing from the guys as you all have been scrimmaging more in these last few practices?
This time of the year with the Camp Cal, even since going back to the days I played for Cal, we did Camp Cal. This is where you see his teams markedly improve. I mean, the scary thing for us and for our opponents is we've got so much room for improvement individually and as a team. And the focus on scrimmaging is we got so many young guys and so many guys that are inexperienced, being one of the youngest teams in college basketball. You get better and you improve at a faster rate through scrimmaging instead of drill work. It's just the nature of these kids and their makeup today. And so we're individually, guys are getting better, and as a team, we're getting better in the areas we needed to improve in.
Tony, Ty was talking about there's a lot of emphasis on rebounding. What does this team need to do to rebound?
It's twofold. I mean, rebounding's always kind of been about a 1-2 and a will to, and there's some positioning things, some technique things that we're working on, but more than anything, it's just when that ball goes up on that rim, do you think it's yours? We've got one or two guys who think that way, and we got the rest of the guys that've got to catch up to that identity, and that's what we've been focusing on.
Texas A&M's got B. Davis is an excellent rebounder. Williams, the freshman kid, big tall kid who can rebound. How much of it is that going to be important in this particular game?
And not just those two. I mean, they've got one of the most imposing front lines in college basketball, not just in our conference. And so they do a great job of running their offense, which puts their bigs around the rim for offensive rebound. It's why they're one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the country, and it starts with Davis. I mean, he's averaging almost 4 offensive rebounds, 4 or 5 offensive rebounds a game. So it's going to be crucial to block out, keep your man away from the ball, and then get our guys to go get the ball. But at the same time, we got to get our guards rebounded. That's one of the areas our guards are so big, so long, so athletic. They've got to use that to their advantage to go rebound. We've been focused on Malik Monk in that area. He should be a guy that goes and gets 5, 6, 7 rebounds a game because he can, and he has the ability to. So he's one of the other guys that we've been focusing on too. He's got to come help us defensive rebound.
How much of a message does it send some of the other big guys on this team too that Cal goes to Ty and says, rewards him for apparently he's been fighting and going up for rebounds in practice to reward that?
Yeah, it's a message. I mean, it's no secret that we've got to get our big guys, our other big guys, to catch up to the level that Bam is. And obviously not everybody's going to be Bam physically, but it's not so much what Bam does physically as what he does mentally to approach the game every day. He is a wrecking ball on the basketball floor, offensively and defensively. So we've got to get our other bigs, and Ty is one of those guys. He plays that same way. And now it's up to Ty to catch up to what we're trying to do scheme-wise, offensively, defensively, so he's not behind on the floor and hurts us in that way, because what he does give us is another physical guy like Bam who throws his body around and he goes after rebounds.
Is he right on the verge, Bam, or is he already there of really breaking out? It seems like he's been sort of incrementally stepping up. You got some flashes of it early in the Louisville game, and then obviously the other night with 25 points. Is he kind of on the cusp?
Yeah, I mean, he's on the cusp. He's there. I mean, he's wherever you want to put him. His best days of basketball are still in front of him. I mean, he's learning every day. He comes to practice to learn and to work every single day. I haven't seen him take a day off since he's been here. And so when you've got that kind of physical talent and you have that kind of mental approach to the game that I can always learn and get better, it's scary to think of where he's going to be with the years to come.
Tony, you've been in the unique position of having coached against Kentucky in the Southeastern Conference. What is the mindset of coaches coming in and playing the Cats? Is it truly their Super Bowl, or are they just approaching it as another game?
No, obviously it's it's a big game. I mean, you're talking about the flagship program in the SEC, if not the country. And every other team in this league, you want to be in that position. You want to be the top dog, and to do that, you've got to beat the best. So it's a different approach probably for your team, and as a coach, you mentally getting ready to come into Kentucky and play against one of Cal's teams and play it rough.
What has made these games between you and Texas A&M so competitive?
Well, Billy does a great job with his team. First and foremost with them, it starts with defense, and that's why they've played our team so well because of how well they play defensively and how physical they are. And it's why they've been one of the best teams in this conference since Billy's taken over at Texas A&M. So it's going to be a fist fight. All of our games have been. They've been down to the wire. So we expect nothing less.
What makes Davis so effective around the rim?
He has, obviously his size is a huge factor, but he plays one or two moments ahead in the game. He's always angling for position in the post. He's always angling before his shot is taken to get offensive rebound position. It's what makes him so effective down there, and it's very similar. He's very similar to Bam in that way. Bam thinks the game the same way. He's always a player or two ahead, a step or two ahead of his opponent, and that's what the better players do. They see the game ahead in a little faster pace than other guys do.
On Malik with his rebounding, how much of that has been him trying to get in transition to get out early, and how do you balance him crashing defensive boards and trying to get out and run?
Well, it's why we're one of the fastest teams in the country, and we're fast at every position. We got so many guys that can rebound. We want to get that ball out and get it up the floor, and then him being one of the fastest guys on the team, and he's so effective in transition. If we can throw it up to him, it's a bucket or foul for that other team, and so he has to pick and choose his moments. Obviously, it's harder for him when he's guarding a perimeter player to get defensive rebounds. So he's got to have a balance of knowing when he can go get a defensive rebound and when he has to go out and get out in transition.
How disruptive is De'Aaron Fox?
Very, very disruptive, and again, defensively, he can be even more disruptive. We've been watching some tape with De'Aaron of Tyler Ulis, specifically on the defensive end of the floor, and it's just thinking back to Tyler, he was just a difference maker defensively, even at his size, because he disrupted anything any other team tried to do. And so we're trying to get De'Aaron to see the game defensively in that same way. And then if you can get him to that level, being 6'3", 6'4", long arms, athletic, quick, smart, intelligent, all those things, then he could take his game to a different level too.
Do you guys miss Tyler at all in time and score situations? He always seemed very attuned to that.
Well, he was savvy in that way, especially the experience he had on this level, being a 2-year college player. It's funny to say that that's a veteran nowadays. And so De'Aaron has those instincts as well, and then it helps that he has Isaiah Briscoe next to him in those situations. And so De'Aaron's developing. Isaiah is instinctual in that way, and so both of those guys have made us effective in those pressure situations.
Is there a guy you've been particularly impressed by during this Camp Cal period, getting better, making strides?
All of them really. Every one of them is, you're going 2, 3, 4 times a day. You can't help but get better, and all of them are attacking this process. None of them are shying away from it, and they all know individually they got to get better because they're striving for something individually, and then collectively they know we all have to get better so we can help each other going forward.
Sounds like Cal's been on Winion pretty hard. Is there a good cop on the staff for him that puts the arm around him after Cal's done with him?
Yeah, we all do, and Cal does it too. He's one of those guys that has to get better for us. Derek's got to get better. Winion's got to get better. Isaac's got to get better. Ty's got to get better. Those guys have got to step their games up, and Winion's had his moments. But he's a typical freshman. He's going to be up and down. You just expect more out of our freshmen.
How much with Winion too that his body just needs to physically mature and get stronger?
That's a big part of it. He's playing against some older, veteran, stronger players, and so he gets moved out of the way physically from time to time. But for Winion, it's not a 1-2. He's got a motor that just won't stop, and there's sometimes physically he can't get to where he wants to be, but he's improving every single day. He's improved night and day from when he stepped on campus, and so you project him out and he continues at this rate, he's going to be a fantastic player.
How have you seen guys' mindsets change when you have all these practices in terms of how they want to really approach preparation?
Well, they know. You got the veteran guys from Dominique and Derek, Mulder, Briscoe, who's been around now for a few years. They help the younger guys to know the expectations coming into this Camp Cal. And the schedule from when class is in that last final. You're going to be in this gym, 24/7, getting better. You're getting better individually, you're getting better shooting the ball, you're getting better handling the ball, you're getting better watching film and watching yourself and watching our team. And so, they understand the approach that they've got to have mentally is going to help them in the long run.
Has the ship sailed on a big lineup, or maybe Isaac and Bam together? Is that something?
No, we're working on a lot of different things. That's the scary thing I keep saying about this team is there's so many different ways we can get better. Whether I know coaches talked about playing, you saw a little bit the other night, Michael Mulder at the 4 and playing a smaller lineup, playing without a big, playing Winion and Derrick at the 4 and 5, and we've also been looking at playing a big lineup. So this team has got to be versatile as we get into the meat of conference play and down the stretch, that we can play different styles against different teams, and playing big is one of them.
Talk to Jim Moore if you got him. What's the biggest difference between Camp Cal now and Camp Cal when he coached you?
I don't know if I can remember back that far. It's similar. It's similar when you're in the middle of that winter break where there's no classes and you've got, almost a month of no class. It's the same approach. You might as well throw your we didn't have cell phones back then, but nowadays you might as well throw your cell phone away and throw away your TV remote, because you're going to be in this gym getting better, and that approach hadn't changed.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks, guys.